Good evening. I appreciate everybody being with us on tonight. We are going to go ahead and get started. In order to honor everyone's time, I am having a little bit of trouble with my laptop, so I'm joining from my phone, so I won't be able to show the slide. But there are not any images, so I'm going to kind of talk us through tonight. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. I know that you all are very busy people. In just a minute, the sign in link is going to be put in the chat room. We're trying to give people a few more minutes to just log on so that they can see the sign in link, which will be put in the chat for you to be able to document that you were here for this mandatory meeting. So again, the mission and vision of our school, our vision is to become a top ranked model school of innovation. So this year, test scores will be released for early college high schools, and it will be reported as if we were a school. Our goal is to work to become number one, to become the very top ranked, have the highest scores in the state. And then be a model school where we can be a place where we learn how to do things in a way that's beneficial to everyone, so that other teachers from other districts and from within our district can come and see teaching and learning at its best. And then our mission is to promote excellence, community, honor, and scholarship. So tonight we want to just huddle together for just a few minutes to talk about some things to keep it before everybody, so that there will be no surprises. One of the things is that our district had been engaged in midterm testing, but benchmark testing seems to follow closely behind that. And so benchmark testing will be next week. Monday, Mrs. Molden sent out the schedule to all parents earlier this week. Monday, September the 27th is English 1 and 2, part 1. Wednesday is English 1 and 2, part 2. Thursday is Algebra 1. And then Monday, October the 4th, is Biology and U.S. History. So from Monday of next week to the following Monday, October the 4th, our students will be engaged in benchmark testing, and that's very important testing. Tougaloo will also have midterm exams October the 4th and 5th, and that's next the following Monday, October the 4th, and Tuesday, October the 5th. Tougaloo will have midterm exams. Now, those will be the grades used to determine students for probation, and that's why we wanted to come before you tonight, before it was too late, to be able to talk about how probation works and to remind our returning parents, but also to underscore it for our new parents, because we don't want any students on probation. And so right now we have the time to do something about it. And so that's why we didn't want to wait. We wanted to meet with parents on this evening. So how does probation work? For semester classes at our school, on the high school side, there are a couple of classes that are semesters long, like government or economics. Those two courses are just a semester. Sociology and psychology, the high school version through Edgenuity, those are semester long courses. If your child is in one of those courses, then if they do not have a B or or above in those classes, after the first 9 weeks in October, they will get put on probation. And that means they have until December, until the end of the course, to pull those grades up to a B or above. College courses are also only one semester long. So when they issue midterm grades, colleges are only required to issue midterm and final grades. So no matter what your child sees in their Tougaloo Canvas, the only grades that really count will be what ends up in the LU, and they will get midterm grades based on their midterm exams. So the assignments that they have been getting are to prepare them for midterm exams, and midterm exam grades will then be reported to us, and then students will be put on probation if they fall at C or below. They have to have a B or above not to be on probation for the college courses as well. And then they only have until the end of the semester for the college courses in order to pull that up to the appropriate grade. So that's very important. So right now, we are just a few weeks away from that midterm point. Again, Tougaloo midterms are October the 4th and 5th. The end of this first term, the first 9 weeks, is October the 12th for JPS. So fall break is on October the 11th, which is a Monday. Tougaloo is still open, but JPS is closed. So that means if your child is in the 9th or 10th grade, they won't have any JPS courses. But if they were in a college course on that day, they would have Tougaloo courses. And then, of course, for our juniors and seniors, their college courses will go on as usual on October the 11th, even though JPS is out. You have to follow 2 calendars, Tougaloo's and the Jackson Public School District. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of how probation works and know that students should be preparing for their college midterms now. They are 1 week away. Some of the things that our students could be doing, we have encouraged them to do since the summer, and all throughout these weeks we have been in school, and many students have not taken advantage of that. And Mrs. Molden will talk a little bit more about that in just a minute, but that, like office hours, attending the requesting to see the professor during their office hours to get clarity, to ask questions. They don't do tutorial. They come to address the questions that you bring to them. So the child will have had to do work and then say, hey, I don't understand why the answer is this and not this. They can't just come and expect the professor to pour into them. They are there to respond to questions. And all students should schedule at least 1 office hour. And if they're struggling, every time the professor has office hours, they should attend. So again, midterms for the college are October the 4th and the 5th, and those will determine who is on probation, if any students get on probation for college courses. For JTECHS courses that are a semester long, they will be on probation if they do not have a B or above on the first term report cards. For year-long classes, then they will get on probation at Christmas time, after the second report card goes out. Then they have to the end of the year to pull those grades up to B or above for year-long courses. So for semester courses, it's important that we notified you now, reminded you, so you can follow up with your child. Many students are in many activities. Maybe right now might not be a good time for them to participate in everything that they have going on. Maybe they want to channel their energy into preparing for their midterm exams for the college. And if they are struggling in one of our courses, definitely take advantage of the after-school tutorial that we have or other opportunities for support. Fall break again for JPS is October the 11th. There will be no high school classes, but Tougaloo will still have college classes and our students are to attend. The end of term 1 is October the 12th. ACT for JTECHS. We focus on ACT because that's a way for students to prove that they are college ready. And our goal is for students to be college ready without the need for remediation. It is also because ACT scores are required to participate in dual credit classes. So if you don't have the appropriate ACT score, you can no longer take the college courses. And that's a Mississippi Department of Education requirement. So students need to take the ACT. The day that we have set forth to ensure that all of our students take the ACT is December 11th. Why December 11th? Because in December and April, students are able to get a test information release. That means after you take the ACT, you can pay $25 and get a copy of the test. It's going to be the whole test, every answer that your child chose, every question, and the correct answer. So if you can study using the actual ACT itself, you have a better chance of scoring higher on the next time. And they only do that on certain tests throughout the year. And December and April are among those times. And so that's why we encourage students to test in December. So all JTECHS students, 9th through 12th, should be taking the ACT December the 11th. Students have to register. We can't register students for the ACT. So you have to make sure that your child has followed through. We give them the information, we try to walk them through it. But at the end of the day, they have a unique account that they have to use to register. So you can ask your child to log in and to register for the December 11th ACT at a location that is convenient for you. If you don't and you wait, then you may have to end up driving to Hattiesburg or to Vicksburg or somewhere that might be far away as testing sites get full. Also, testing sites could close for different reasons, like due to COVID. You might have registered for your child to test it at Jackson Academy, but they might close and the ATT might reschedule your child to test in Brandon. So you have to continue to go in and look before testing, before December the 11th, so that you can make sure they are still scheduled for the appropriate ACT site. But all students need to go ahead and schedule to take the ACT register for December the 11th. 9th and 10th graders will get a voucher, and we are working to order those vouchers because our district pays for that for our 9th and 10th graders. Mrs. Molden will be working with the 9th and 10th graders to make sure that they are registered, and you can double check that. But we will get a voucher so you don't have to pay the $54 for them to take the ACT. We will take care of that for you for 9th and 10th graders. For 11th and 12th graders, all they need to do is request a waiver for Ms. Fleming, and she will provide a waiver so that they don't have to pay to take the ACT either. So none of our students should be paying to take this session of the ACT, and all of our students should take this session of the ACT. It's important for our 9th graders that we have a benchmark score. It also will let us know you're prepared and you'll be able to register for courses next year at Tougaloo if you meet the requirements. If you don't meet the requirements, it lets us know how we can support that, because our students are enrolled in an ACT prep class. Parents have committed to making sure that you find the support even outside of school if you need that, to make sure that your child earns that grade, and then they can retest in the spring if they need to. So those are the things that are important for us to remember about the ACT. It's not optional. All of our students need to test. So please make arrangements on that day to make sure that your child is available to take the ACT, and you can take them there and pick them up. We also only ask for two school supplies this year, and that's a graphing calculator and a state ID, driver's license, or learner's permit. That is because they need them to take the ACT. And so that was the only requirement. So parents are expected to take their child to get a state ID. They used to be $5. I don't know how much they are now, but to take your child to get a state ID, or a driver's license or a learner's permit, because they can all be used. If your child has a military ID, then that's also allowable. So they need to use a current. It cannot be expired. They don't take a picture. They don't take a picture of it on the phone. It has to be the actual official ID. Right now, the district has not released the school IDs, the pictures that were taken on the last day of school at our school and toward the end of the school year at every JPS school. We don't have those. That's why we ask for parents to be responsible to make sure their child had an official ID, state ID, driver's license, learner's permit, or military ID, because that's required for the ACT, and a TI-84 graphing calculator or another approved calculator for the state test. Math has the least amount of minutes on the ACT, and many of those problems can be solved using the graphing calculator, and they can solve them quickly. So a lot of the ACT is not just about if you know the materials, but it's if you can solve or answer the questions in the specified amount of time. Can you do it quickly? So knowing the answers versus knowing them quickly are two different things. And the graphing calculator helps you to generate those answers quickly and within the time. Attendance and late arrival. We have said that student attendance is very important. We talk about it from admissions all the way through orientation every year. Students need to be in class. Many students have gotten behind or have had misconceptions. They are taught to use the graphing calculator with Ms. Bowles and in the ACT sessions that we have and that we have had. But yes, they are taught to use the graphing calculator. But attendance is very important. We have students who miss class for various reasons. And I'm not talking about sickness, but if students miss class because they have a hair appointment or for some other reason, then they are missing valuable information. On the high school side, in 9th and 10th grade, our students are doing 2 years of high school in 1 year. So in 9th grade, they're basically covering 9th and 10th grade curriculum. And in 10th grade, they're covering 11th and 12th grade curriculum, so that when they are juniors and seniors, they can be full-time college students, just like our juniors and seniors are. So if you're missing days, you're missing lots of information, and that makes our students feel stressed and overwhelmed. So we try to encourage students to be in class. If you miss the college classes, there might not be another opportunity for you to get that information. So you need to be in class digitally or in person as it is required. So please make sure that we prioritize that. Coming to school late is also a concern. We have been very fortunate that our buses generally on regular school days, that our buses are on time. So that's not a reason typically for our students not to be in class. So we need for all of our students to be in class on time. 7:45 is the appropriate time for them to be there. That way they can get in, they can get breakfast if they want it. We encourage them to have breakfast and then get to their class, get logged in or physically go to class on time to be able to start at 8 o'clock. So that's very, very, very important. Late arrivals for student drivers will end up with them having revocation of driving privileges. If the child is late 3 times in the same semester, they won't be able to drive to school anymore that semester. That's a privilege, and they have to be able to get to school on time. So we want them to leave early so that they do not speed and they can be safe. We don't want any accidents or incidents, but they have to be in class on time. So we need your help with that. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Fleming for counselor updates.
Hi, everyone. I hope you all are having a great evening. So for just some updates, as Dr. S was talking about, ACT waivers for our 11th and 12th graders, we do have those in the building. We just have waiting to receive those from Provine, Forest Hill, and Wingfield, but hopefully I will have those in on Monday. Some of you have already requested a fee waiver for the September date. So that means you have possibly only one fee waiver left that you can use for as a 12th grader, not 11th graders. But 12th graders, if you requested one for the September date, you possibly only have one left, especially if you've taken it twice last year and your parent did not pay. So that's one thing to remember. You only have 4 fee waivers that you can use, and it's between the 11th and 12th grade year. For now, our counseling department, we need your help. I'm going to put the needs assessment so we can use the data that you provide to better present our services. So this is the parent survey. So parents, so students, faculty, I only need the parents to fill out this survey, and I'm going to put it here in the chat, and it will be sent in an email. But since you all are here tonight, I want to go ahead and give you a head start. We do need this information by October 15th. And it might say October 18th. There's the deadline it will cut off, but hopefully you will do it before the 15th. So we can use this data to ensure that we are providing the services that our families need. Especially if there are things going on at home, or you just need some assistance with some things, your scholar needs some things, and just so we can better do our services. Also for seniors, you all can get application fee waivers. A lot of you have already requested those, and I have sent those transcripts if they have that information, or you've done the coming out. I have been also working with that information as well. So those are for my seniors only. Also on Tuesday, September 28th, and you all, my seniors already have this information. It's the Get to College parent night that's sponsored by our district. This is a district-wide initiative to make sure our families are getting what they need as far as support for paying for college, FAFSA help. I know a lot of you will be getting into that, especially as seniors, is that opens on October 1st. So those are some districts, and I know a lot of you were on the the academic counseling session one on 2 weeks ago. I saw a lot of you on there. So those are some things that the district is pushing out. We want you guys to make sure you take advantage of that information. If you ever need me or anyone on our staff here, we are always willing to help as well. Academic counseling sessions, that was one thing that was talked about at that first parent night. I have been doing those. A lot of you have made those appointments. If you have not, Miss Fleming, there's no hard feelings here, because like I've told parents that have come, or we met on Zoom, I can't pay bills. So if I know there are some priorities that you all may have, so if you didn't make that first meeting, that is totally fine. I will be following up with you to ensure that you know about your scholars' academic progress towards graduation, what they need and what they already have. I know a lot of my 11th and 12th graders have found out that you can see their GPAs and ranks and active student. So if you are a parent or a scholar who cannot get in your active student, I can get you into that. A lot of students have said, can you create my account? Your accounts were created as soon as you stepped in the district. You may have just not used it, but I can get you that information. So if you're having trouble, please email me. And if you are a parent, I know I email you all when I email the students from that JPS-MS.org account, but sometimes your emails go to spam when you use that account. So I would rather you use the Jackson, and I'll put that in the chat here in just a minute. I'd rather you use that Jackson account, especially if you're a new parent. Some of my seasoned parents, your emails do come through, but some of those, some of the new parents, for some reason, they may go through to my spam. And it does take me a little while to reply to those. But I know, like, if you have emailed me and it takes me a little while, please email me again, especially if you use that account, because I do have class and students email me throughout the day and I might miss it. And I don't want to miss your emails. So that is all the updates that I think I have. But you will have, we will send an email about the parent night on next week. And it's with Get to College, and they are a great resource again for college planning. They do one-on-one ACT prep, especially like Dr. Evans said, if you have that TSR, if you have your TSR, they will work with you on those problems that you missed. I know they do a good job with it, and you can set up one-on-one FAFSA meetings with them as well. So especially if you don't want everybody to know your business, especially with tax information, those are people that can help you with it. So those are all the updates that I have, Dr. Evans.
Thank you, Ms. There was a question about where they can see their GPA in the inactive student. How do they ask that?
I have a student on
Marissa just responded, I believe. I think and so when you log in, you should be able to look under the grades. It's going to be up at the top right hand corner. I do know that. Marissa put the answer in the chat. Let me see if I can read it. She said, yeah, go to gradebook and click on GPA, QPA. And again, parents, some of our students are very academically competitive. They take school very seriously. And for many students, they can see their rank in the class. Like they can see if they're ranked #1 in their graduating class so far, or if they're senior, they can see right now I might be ranked #2 or #1 or number 32, and that could change. But it just helps them to have a picture of where they are now for students, where that is something that is an important goal for them if they want to be in the top 10. And we also know that when you earn a valedictorian, many colleges offer a scholarship to the valedictorian. So right now, we do have several students who are currently in that #1 position. And so it'll be up to them to continue to do the work to earn that. And many students across the district are working to do that. And students perform very well at every school. So those are the things that have come up where students are interested to know what is their GPA and what is their rank in their class. Other things to know, if for my senior parents, again, if you are applying for a scholarship, you do not click transfer student. You always select first time college student. That's for all parents. There are scholarships that you can apply for in the 9th grade. You always put first time college student. It doesn't matter that you already have 80 credits from college. They're going to see your transcript when you go to college and they review your transcript. So they will know that you have all these college credits. But for the purposes of scholarships, and you get more scholarships when you're a first-time college student, make sure that you identify yourself that way, not a transfer student, because that will limit you and limit the amount of scholarship monies that you'll be able to get. So we want our students to get all of those monies that could be available. Yes, a passport is also an acceptable proof of ID for ACT. I looked it up, and it is an acceptable proof. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Molden at this time.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see your faces here today. I do want to kind of give a couple of updates as well. One thing that I want to make sure that I clarify, first of all, I want to say congratulations, especially to our juniors and seniors. You all have made, you all are doing a tremendous feat, as we've been talking about this week, of juggling high school and a full-time college course load at the same time. That's excellent. I do kind of want to clarify some things. I was talking to a student today, and she was an 11th grader, and she came to me today because she was here, and she said, I know that when we're in 11th grade, we're not supposed to ask y'all anything. You all are supposed to just let us do it on our own. That's not true. That's a misconception. So I want to make sure that we clarify that. The goal when you are in 11th and 12th grade is for you to ask us questions. Sometimes when students become upperclassmen, they think that they are on their own. You're not on your own. That's the goal of this program. That's why early college is set up, so that you have a guide, you have somebody to help you on this journey. You get started on this journey. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that even though you are in college courses, you still have us as a resource. Now, we do communicate with the college often. I'm not going to be able to communicate with professors about, okay, well, Ashley, today I just didn't feel like going to class. I didn't turn in my assignment. Now, I can't fight for you on those type of things, but if you're having tremendous issues, like we had a lot of students at the beginning who had the wrong schedule, courses on their schedule, or you have not received your course material, or I'm saying I'm logging in to use this system that they've asked me to use and it's not working. Those are things that we have to support you on. So make sure that you let us know that. I wanted to make sure that I started with that so that you understand that just because you are in 11th or 12th grade, or even 10th or 9th grade, and you're taking college courses, you're doing that alone. That's not the case. So I want to make sure that you utilize me. Let me know when something is going wrong, when something is not going well. I have been scheduling success conferences with the 11th and 12th graders. I started with the 12th graders this week, and we have been meeting by department, following a schedule that is in line with your college classes. So parents, I want you to know that we have been touching bases this week just to kind of check in to see how classes are going. Some things that students have been saying are that they appreciate the opportunity to take the college classes. They have talked about how it has been a major adjustment from being a high school student to a college student, but they're up for the challenge. Most people I commended them because this year they have been doing an excellent job communicating issues as they arise. Not only have they been communicating issues, but they have been navigating them navigating those issues, well as well. So if they've had issues, they've either contacted me, CC'd me on the communications, and they've gotten those things done. So I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that just because you are a college student doesn't mean that you don't reach out to me for support when you need support. The other things that I want to make sure that everybody is aware of, and Dr. Evans already talked about this, the college will be observing midterms on October 4th and 5th. So students, you go ahead and make sure that you are prepared for that. I do want to say that just because the college is observing midterms on October 4th and 5th, that does not mean that every professor will give a midterm. So you just want to make sure that you are prepared. You want to make sure that you are prepared. I also want to make sure to mention the usage of office hours, and we've talked about this. A lot of times students are noticing that the courses, the course load is very different from what they've experienced in high school. And so they a lot of times have a lot of questions because sometimes it causes them to do a lot of critical thinking. Students, please make sure that you are utilizing professors' office hours. One thing that we get from professors when we speak with them is that students come to office hours and they sit there. they expect to get information, but they don't come with anything. So what professors are requesting that students come to office hours prepared with questions. So if I've worked on a assignment last night and I know I didn't understand questions 1 through 5, I want to be able to go in and tell Dr. Evans as my professor, I need assistance with questions 1 through 5. I don't understand how you arrived at this solution. They're looking for students to critically think, come to them with questions, because if you just come there like you're in a meeting, you're not going to get anything because they're not going to give anything. Right now, the college does not have tutorial services in place right now, but the professors are doing things to make sure students have tutorials. All the students that I've met with have either had office hours with the professor, or the professor is scheduling actual class time. Even though the classes are virtual, they're still saying, okay, well, on Friday, we're going to have a class meeting, even though this is a virtual class. Or they're saying, okay, well, even though I'm at work, I'm going to jump on a call with you today to be able to troubleshoot the things that you need. So we haven't seen any issues with that, but I want to make sure that students understand that you have to advocate for yourself. When you speak to the professor, you go with questions. So those are things I just want to make sure that I am reminding you of. Make sure if you have issues like about attendance, like let's say a student told me the other day I had to go to the doctor. Make sure that you let me know so that I can make sure that your professor is aware. Today we had students who went on a field trip. We were able to get the absence excused because we were aware, and we can let them know. If you miss assignments though, it is your responsibility, to make those up. If you know that you have something, we do ask that you don't have and schedule any appointments during the school day. But we know sometimes those things are unavoidable. As soon as you know, someone needs to know so that you can make sure that the assignments really should be done before you end up missing the class. I have a couple of more things. Those are the things about the college course. Oh, remember, parents, we do not have access to your students' DeLu account. We do not have access to their Canvas material. Only students have that. We have had some issues with students who created accounts and they do not remember the password or the security questions that they have set up. So what I advised students to do was to take a picture, and I said, send it to your most dependable parent. Who do you think would help you out in a time of need? I told them I would not send it to my dad. He doesn't know how to work his cell phone. If I send him a picture, he won't be able to find it. He won't be able to help me. So I tried to give them a reliable person for them to send their information to as well. I have coordinated with IT for students who may not remember their passwords and just had them reset their accounts altogether. So we just want to make sure to instill in students that those are their responsibilities to remember those items, because we're just trying to make them responsible adults. The last thing I want to make sure that I say before we get off is I want to remind you or let you know about some resources that we have available at the school. Starting next Tuesday, we will have after-school tutorials available for all of our tested area subjects. So when I'm saying tested area subjects, I'm talking about classes like Algebra 1, English 2, U.S. History, and Biology. Today, we had tutorials and a total of 6 students were present. So we have tutorials available, and we need to make sure that our students pass these exams, but we want to make sure that students are participating. We also reached out to parents of 11th grade students. There is an awesome opportunity that the district is offering, in that they are offering the Sylvan Learning Center ACT course for free of charge to our students. We had 25 slots available for students. We chose students who had not made at least a 20 on the ACT. Of those 20 slots that we have today, we had 6 students present today for those tutorial sessions as well. So I just want to make sure that parents are aware of the resources that are available, because we are here. We're just looking for students. I know that the transportation situation with after school tutorial can be alarming. I do want you to know that it is being addressed. Today, both buses arrived at 5:08 p.m. So our students should be home by now. So I do want you to know that for after school tutorials, there is also transportation available. Like I said before, for all tested area subjects for our 9th and 10th graders, there are after school tutorials available beginning next Tuesday through Thursday. There are opportunities for students to stay. Parents, if you would like for your students to stay and they have not been staying, please send me an email so that we can get them added to our tutorial roster. We also have tutorials every Friday during win time for students, where students are going to teachers whose classes where they may need some extra assistance or they may be missing assignments. So those are opportunities and resources as well I want you to know about. It was one more thing, I think. Let me go back and look at my notes. Tori, so if you have someone that you would like to attend and you have not, and they are not attending, please send me an email. We can get that handled. Ms. Cooper will also send a letter home about biology tutorials, which I said will start on next Tuesday. Make sure students, you know that just because you're in your college classes doesn't mean that you are not with us. We are still with you. You can't get rid of us yet. You won't get rid of us probably ever. So don't even think about it. Make sure that you are utilizing office hours with your professor. And when you run into issues where you don't understand something, I don't know how to maneuver this, please make sure that you're asking. Another thing is, if you don't tell us, we don't know. There's no way for us to know unless it is communicated to someone on our staff. If you tell somebody, you've told all of us, because if it's something that has to be addressed, we're going to get it to the right person. But if you keep it to yourself, we don't know what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Molden. I just want to continue to reinforce that when students have a challenge with their college classes, they got to communicate immediately. They should not wait until the deadline and say, oh, I don't know how to upload this, and it's 11:58 and it's due at 11:59 p.m. But if they do their assignments on the day that they give them the assignments, which is what we tell them, then their stress will be off of them. And then if there's a challenge, there is time for the professor to respond. The professors are not going to respond because the child emails them 10 times overnight. It actually works against the students when they do that. They just need to do it in advance so they can find the errors if there's a problem and reach out in advance of the deadline. I always ask students to CC Ms. Molden just so she will be aware of the challenge that they are having. I want to talk about participation especially for our juniors and seniors. There are lots of activities that we have, and they're for all students. But many times our juniors and seniors choose not to participate, or they need help in their college classes. All of our teachers are available to help them. They're in biology, they're in composition 1 and 2. They're in classes that our teachers can support them with, or in a history course. They just have to come to our teachers for help. So we want them to not isolate themselves. We want them to stay connected to us, because our goal is to get them across that finish line. We want to have 23 graduates in May from Tougaloo and from their home schools. And we want all of our students, all 123 that we have now, to be graduated with an associate's degree. Remember, parents, if you disagree with your child's college grade, there is no conference for you. So that's why the child has to do that now. You make sure that they email them. You tell them to CC you and Ms. Molden. You make sure they communicate, because you can't ask for a meeting with the professor. If the professor gives them 100 assignments and doesn't use any of them, and they only use the midterm grade, they have the autonomy to do that. Tougaloo is a private college. They have empowered their professors to grade the way that they see fit, and every professor has a syllabus. So as parents, ask your child to pull up that syllabus in their Canvas and review that with them so that they will know how they're being graded. Many professors are grading for attendance. Are they coming to class? Are they coming on time? Participation. Are they asking questions? If they're just in there but they never say anything, they might get a 0 for participation, and that might count half of their grade or a fourth of their grade. So it's important that you read the syllabus so you know how you're being graded, because after the grades are issued, there is no conference, there's no hierarchy like we have here in the high school. On the high school side, the grade is going to be the grade. And if they don't earn a C or above, then they will not be able to continue in our program. Unfortunately, they would have to go to the homeschool. That's why we were urging this meeting for tonight. Right now, I want to turn over the meeting to a representative from our senior parents, senior parent committee. I believe is Ms. Hall. Mrs. Hall, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're ready for you.
Good evening, everyone. The senior parents, we're in the process of planning an excellent and fun-fulfilled year for the seniors. We did send a survey, Dr. Everson did send a survey out to the juniors also, because we have an activity that they can possibly participate in with the seniors, and we want to see if they were interested. So far from that survey, received 26 responses. So if you juniors, if you can please, if you have not participated in the survey that was sent out today or completed it, can you please complete it so we can continue planning for that event. For the seniors, we sent a survey out a couple of weeks ago and only 5 seniors responded. So we're going to send another one out, and we really need in completing this survey. It's very important. We want you all to have a say-so and what activities you have for your senior year. Well, it was the best time of my life. I'm assuming it's the best time of y'all life, my senior year. So please, and parents can asking you to make sure your child completes this survey. And basically the survey for tonight is we're just giving you a list of activities, suggested activities for the year that we can plan for the seniors. And if you're interested, select the top 6 that you're interested in, and we're going to start planning and budgeting for that. So it's important that we get those. I'm working on, if I have complete before this meeting with tonight, I'm going to put it in the chat. I was not able to complete today because I was working, but if not, I will send it to Dr. Evans for you all tomorrow to complete, but I'm going to try to do it my best to do it tonight. Anyone have any questions? And I will also, senior parents, we are having meetings. If you're not receiving emails from me, I'll put my email address in the chat. Please email me or text me. I'll put my number also so I can add you. We want to make sure all parents are involved and included and know about the activities that we're trying to plan. Thank you, Dr. Evans.
I want to say thank you to Mrs. Hall and to the leaders who are leading these initiatives to plan these activities for our seniors. We wanted to empower our parents to be a part of creating this, so they're taking the leadership role. Senior parents and junior parents, we really need 100% participation. We are a relatively small school, and I know that many students will be going to prom, maybe even at their home schools. That's fine. They get double. So we want them to be connected to the school family that they have here. And we want all of our seniors to participate. So when these surveys come out, or we have activities, or if they go to doing something once a month for seniors, we want to see 100% of our seniors coming to these events. And if they are having a junior and senior prom, they're going to work really hard to make it nice. We want for all of our juniors and seniors to participate and to have fun and create memorable events. Our students will have all their lives to work. So they won't have all their lives to be in high school. So let's make sure that we can make high school fun and memorable, and make sure we honor the time, because parents are really sacrificing their time and efforts to help plan these events. So we thank you again, parents. And when they have the parent meeting, Mrs. Hall, what days do they have the parent meetings?
We have twice a month. On Tuesdays, we just had one on the 21st, this past Tuesday. The next one will be October 5th.
Okay, so we want to see 100% of our senior parents at that meeting on October the 5th. And in the morning, when I send out the survey to my seniors, we need you, because we're asking what kind of events do you want to have for the senior year. And they want to go ahead and plan these, get prices, so that you can have time to be able to save the monies that you will need to be able to do these things. You want to have senior trip, you want senior banquet, you want prom, we want all these things. So we need you, and junior parents, we're going to need you too, so that all of our students can have a great time. And then our 9th and 10th graders have something to look forward to on next year. So we want our seniors, who we are so proud of, to go out with the bang. We started out with 44 students in cohort 1. That's our senior cohort. We have 23 stellar students left. This means that they are the creme de la creme. They are the top of the top, and they have worked really hard to be here. And so we really want to make this school year phenomenal, and we need your participation to do that. So yes, students can go to their homeschool activities. We encourage you to do that, but we also want you to do everything that we have planned for our school and be a part of planning those activities. At this time, I'd like to open the floor up for questions so that I can answer them. And In the needs assessment that our district gives out every year, we ask about, do parents have input on our mission and vision or the activities? You see, we're involving the parents in creating and leading that. We're following their lead on activities, but there might be other things that you see that we could be doing or you would like to see happen at our school. We want your voice, we want your input. So at this time, I'm open for questions or feedback. And if you're saying you want to help the senior parents plan those activities, then please, please, please get Mrs. Hall's information and email her. She is leading that initiative along with the team of senior parents. Please make sure you email her so that you can be on the team to help. We need your help. So questions or feedback at this time, I'm open. Now I'll just check the chat to see if there are any questions that I might have missed. Okay. So
Someone
I see.
asked if I thought we're going to our homeschool prom.
Right. And I said, yes, you can go to your homeschool prom. You can go to their senior day, go to all their games, and still come to all our senior. This is your school too. So we want you to come to all of our events and still go to your homeschool prom and events as well. Some students have said they may not want to go to their homeschool formals or because they don't really know the people there, and that's okay too. But we want you to go to everything that we have at the early college, and you are also able to go to everything that they have at your homeschool. Many of our students have been involved, been invited to join honor societies at their homeschool or participate in things at their homeschool. That's excellent because you're still a Murrah student or a Lanier.
He up and down, he fine.
I'll make sure you put yourselves on mute. We want you to still participate. You can participate at your homeschool, but make sure that you participate in everything that we have here. Is it true that Tougaloo has provided transportation? No, they have not provided any transportation for ECHS field trips, not as of today. So that would be a great thing if that were to happen, but that is not true. Not so far. But our seniors, I have spoken with Tougaloo, and they do plan for our seniors to be involved in the events for graduates. That's including pictures, senior pictures. That's including whatever programs or services that they have. And we know that they will be graduating from Tougaloo. So some people have forgotten. They have asked, do we have a graduation at the early college? Our graduation is Tougaloo's graduation. Our school song is Tougaloo school song. You are Tougaloo students as well. So the graduation from the early college will be Tougaloo's graduation, which will happen at the beginning of May in the spring. At the JPS graduation, you'll graduate from your home schools, and it will be important that you attend that because you've earned that and you'll be counted in with your homeschool. So you'll be counted in if you're in the top 10. That will also happen at your homeschool, and you'll be recognized for that. And you'll have the cords to show that. You also have an early college stole that you will wear, and I believe you all said you're going to wear your Tougaloo stoles as well to graduation for your homeschools. So those are exciting times to be looking forward to. Last thing is parents of juniors and seniors, freshmen and sophomore. If you want our help and your child is struggling or you have questions, schedule a meeting with Ms. Fleming so that we can discuss them. Even though we don't teach juniors and seniors, we can still have a parent conference, strategize. Mrs. Moulton is reaching out to the professors. Let's be aggressive so that we can get all our students across that stage for graduation. Let's not wait. Let's not say, oh, well, they're old enough to do it. No. Let's be the supports that they need. And when they graduate from high school, then they'll be on their own. But for right now, let's not throw away the opportunity for them to get a free associate's degree, free to them, of cost to the district, but it's well worth the cost when we see what these students are going to be able to do in the future. I can't tell you how proud of them I am. All of them. I have enjoyed getting to know my 9th graders this year. I'm so happy to see my 10th graders who are mostly virtual on last year. And I'm excited every time I see my juniors and seniors. So let's stay close as a family. I told the students we are in cohorts for a reason. You're in a cohort so that you can get help. not to cheat, not academic dishonesty, but everybody should be reminding each other, hey, you know, we got a test on this, or, you know, we got to have this complete in Alex for college algebra, or, you know, we got to do this for Miss Bowles' class. You all need to be making sure that everybody is completing their assignments. And if you have questions, in addition to asking a teacher to explain things and going to tutorial, which I encourage everybody to do, you have a whole group of people who are taking the same classes. Wi-Fi issues. Tougaloo says that they are going to put some additional ports in the auditorium so that it will improve the Wi-Fi access there. That has definitely been a challenge. So our students who are juniors and seniors, typically, if they're having Wi-Fi issues, they go to the library and they can do their work there. It just is in the auditorium for some reason that, and in some of the classes, U.S. history and biology, U.S. history and physical science, they have a lot of challenges with the Wi-Fi areas. So they were supposed to be coming to put some access ports in this week or the beginning of next week. We've been on top of this since the spring, actually, but there are some issues. Ms. Fleming has a comment in the chat room about the needs assessment. She's working on that. She will send that out again, and she will email you all the needs assessment. So again, if you all have feedback, if there are things you think we can be doing, the older parents know, hey, they say, I think we should have a parade for seniors, or I think we should do this. They know to go ahead and say it. And if it's doable, we want to do it. So I want my freshman parents and sophomore parents, for you all to know, if you have feedback, if there are things you think we're doing well, let us know. If there are things you think we could be doing better, let me know. My email address, and all of our teachers and staff, our email addresses are on our homepage, so that you can always find it. You can click on it under our pictures. The email address is there. My email address is coevans@jackson.k12.ms.us. It's the same, but it's also on the web page. Mrs. Molden's email address is there. Ms. Fleming's is there. We want to help. We love your children, and we want to do everything we can to help them achieve their goals and dreams. So I appreciate you all being here with us tonight. Make sure that if you need us, you call or you schedule a conference that includes senior parents and junior parents, that you schedule a conference and let's work through what's going on with them and let us help collaborate. You can't meet with the professors, but we can talk to them. So use us, and take advantage of the tutorials. Thank you all so much. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Be safe and be well. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Evans.
Yes.
Hi, this is Alicia Brown. I logged in a little late. Is there any way that I see that Ms. Fleming was recording the call? Can she share that call with me, please?
Yes, it's going to be downloaded. And then I think Mrs. Chapman, who is our technology guru, she puts all our meetings on our school's YouTube page, on the JPS-Tougaloo Early College YouTube page. And she is able to do that by the next day. So if you missed other meetings, they're on there too. And we want to make sure you get everything. I am going to also, do you receive the emails from me?
I do, yes.
So I'm going to send the slide. It wasn't much, and I wasn't able to pull it up because my computer would not allow me to log into Zoom, so I had to do it from my phone. But I'm going to send the PowerPoint as soon as we get off this call, and then you'll just be able to see like due dates and other things, what we discussed.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. But
don't forget that, though, if you just want to schedule a parent conference, you can do that, and we can talk about, I do it. I have children. Well, now I have a graduate, but I have one in 11th grade. And I just schedule a meeting with the teachers to see, okay, what is it that I can do to help? Or what is it that you're seeing that, that needs to happen for my child that I can do? What can you do? How can we work together? And so we encourage those kind of meetings.
Okay, then. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
I appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Be sure you signed in as well.
Okay, no, I didn't sign in.
Okay, so if you can see it in the link, in the chat, because it won't. I'm gonna repost it in in the chat, because if you sign in late, you can't see what was posted before. So there it is. You should be able to see it now.
Okay, yes, good evening. Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Chat.
thank you so much. I do apologize about that.
Hey, that's okay. We're glad you're here now.
Thank you so much, Miss Evans, because what Miss Brown was asking about, I was just about to ask you the same thing. Thank you for that.
Oh, I love my parents. I know y'all work and take care of my other children. So, but we want you to be here because when you're here, we can hold their hands until they're able to do it on their own. We want everybody to get this AA degree and be successful and achieve whatever they want to achieve in life.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I'm so appreciative.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. We appreciate you so much. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.